Hey everyone! Welcome back to my channel, it's Serene's Life. I can't believe we're already 20 days into 2024. If you're like me, who's been sort of living through the past 20 days trying to get by, maybe it's time we both get intentional on how we'll spend the next 346 days. Before we start the video, I wanted to unbox the Artist of Life book I got from the Lavendaire shop for 2024. I've been eyeing this book for many years and finally bought the 2024 edition. I also got some stickers from their website to try out. They're very cute and I like how they're in pastel colors. They're a bit hard to peel at times, but it's still good quality regardless. I got the TBH deck from their website as well. It's basically a deck of 120 cards each with unique journaling prompts. The cards are divided into categories according to color and general subject matter. I love the quality of the book cover and the thickness of the pages. I'm looking forward to trying it out. Now, let's get started. First, let's take a moment to reflect on what happened last year. For me, the memories that stuck out the most are my graduation, my crochet journey, and starting my YouTube channel and hitting 100 subs. Besides general milestones, I'll be providing 5 questions you can ask yourself about last year. The questions are, what worked or didn't work in 2023? What were the biggest lessons you learned in 2023? What were you most grateful for in 2023? What from 2023 would you like to carry over or leave behind in 2024? And lastly, how would you describe your 2023 in 3 key phrases? To give an example of what I thought of for the first question, documenting my life more definitely worked for me in 2023. Besides YouTube, I also started a daily journal once I started my post-grad break. The app that I use to journal is called MiniNote. Within MiniNote, there are many different features that I like to use. For example, you can cut pictures into either circles or hearts or even stars, and you can also go through their sticker library and find a plethora of stickers to use. What I like about the app is that I can summarize my days into a single picture, and I can also look back at these pictures so I can see what my mood was like, how disciplined I was, what food I ate, and so on. For what didn't work, I would often detract from my to-do list and what I wanted to do in favor of instant gratification, such as going on Instagram or passively watching YouTube videos. I spent a decent amount of time writing down my answers for these questions, and they definitely gave me more clarity on my lifestyle and what I would want to repeat/cut off in 2024. Another thing that didn't work for me in 2023 was having an all-or-nothing mindset. For example, if I had my day planned out and one thing from my to-do list went awry, I would instantly lose motivation and detract from my schedule. Consequently, I'm trying to work on abandoning this mindset and adopting a more abundant mindset. For example, rather than thinking, I woke up at 12, the day is basically over, might as well just take it easy rather than do chores, I can instead think, yes, it's not ideal to wake up at 12, but there's still 9 hours until my bedtime, which is enough for me to do all my chores. Likewise, I really want to tell you all, don't get too caught up on New Year's resolutions and starting things perfectly, because the reality is that life isn't perfect. It's impossible to think of every factor that might impact your perfectly planned schedule, so it's better to learn how to be adaptable in these circumstances. Even if you see this video in May or August of 2024, it's still 2024, hence, there's still time to improve before the year ends. One of my New Year's resolutions is to keep up with my cooking. However, because I share the kitchen with my family, I have to work around my mom's schedule a lot. Even if I don't feel like doing it in the moment, I have to finish my cooking for the next few days or else I'll lose my chance to use the kitchen and simultaneously lose my consistency in cooking. Perhaps for some of you, this could apply for school. I know when I was a student, I would choose to relax for the rest of the day if I didn't feel like doing a pre-planned task or turn to my bed too many times since it's right next to my desk. In these circumstances, you have to resist the temptation to be perfect and do it anyways to the best of your ability. Making a vision board has been something I wanted to do when I first heard of it last year, but I didn't end up doing it due to finding it out in March rather than the start of the year. I'm definitely not letting myself off this year for doing that, so I'll be making my vision board with you guys today. To start, I went on Canva and looked at a number of templates out there. There are so many good ones, but I eventually settled on this one. I then thought of the areas of my life, including environment, discipline, health, play, love, work, and life satisfaction. After analyzing all these areas in my life and thinking about what I would like them to be at in peak condition, I then found pictures to represent what I thought of in my head. I know for my vision board, I placed a number of YouTube-related pictures and health-related pictures. I also found notable quotes that I would want to represent my 2024. I won't share too much of my vision board, but one quote I thought of is, "A lot can change in a year." I resonated with this quote because I want to change how I approach productivity and discipline this year, and I want it to bring about a huge change in my life. In addition to vision board making, I also started a current me versus future me prompt for my Artist of Life book surrounding these areas. Rather than comparing me right now to my ideal self, I instead rated these areas of my life out of 8 now and plan on doing the same a year later. I hope that I can see my meter out of 8 improve significantly. Now that you have established your end goal for this year, you actually have to put in the work to achieve it. One thing I learned while consuming self-improvement videos is to think of habits as a way to embody a new identity. For example, bringing back my goal of cooking consistently, what would the behaviors of someone who cooks looks like? For those still in school, what would the behavior of someone who studies well looks like? Now take some time to think about this and then do it. I think a lot of us get fixated on how we perceive ourselves currently that it's hard to break out of that shell. Trust me, I went many years of my life thinking that I hate wearing skirts, and I just bought a number of skirts to wear this year. Also, I saw this quote in a self-help video recently that was along the lines of, "You're not a tree, you can move." And I think that really helped me set things into perspective. If you're not a YouTuber, but you want to be, well, start making videos and you're a YouTuber. Likewise, if you're not someone who crochets, well, start crocheting, and you're a crocheter. Ultimately, we are multi-dimensional in nature and have the power to control our own actions and reality, to a certain extent, of course. The rest of this video is heavily based on the book Atomic Habits, since I really resonated with it from reading it last year and want to apply it towards my 2024 year. By the way, I highly recommend that you read the whole book, as I will not be mentioning all the helpful insights within. One message that highly resonated with me from the book is how small, everyday/repetitive behaviors can lead to big changes in our everyday lives. Every dish you wash, every foot out the door to study at the library, they can have a compound effect and transform your being. For me, besides cooking, I also want to keep up a consistent sleep schedule no matter what. I've been trying to do this for the past years, always leaning back towards my night owl lifestyle. I even downloaded this app called SleepTown to help me in this process. I really like this app because you can build buildings while you sleep, so it's kind of sort of like a reward system. However, I would not always stick to it for too long. Perhaps it's due to my itch to try new things and feeling bored with patterns. However, repetition is ultimately part of the solution if I want to achieve this goal. As a result, I got the app back and made sure I was in bed before 9 o'clock before pressing the sleep button. This pressing action that occurred every night led me to become someone who wakes up at 7 a.m. and someone who is extra productive in the morning. Because of this small atomic habit every evening before I sleep, I got to achieve so many more things by waking up at 7 a.m. rather than waking up at 11 or 12. Foundational routines such as sleep, morning or night routines, drinking enough water may seem basic or even boring at times, but they make a huge difference when it comes to executing other tasks in your everyday life. The last thing I want to mention from Atomic Habits in this video is the 4 laws of behavior change. In summary, the first one is making it obvious. According to the book, this involves habit stacking, which is stacking a current habit with a new habit. For me, I'm currently trying to stack my current habit of waking up at 7 a.m. with getting out of bed immediately after I wake up. This has been a huge struggle for someone who always lays in bed scrolling through social media. The second law is to make the habit attractive. For example, to keep up my structured morning/night routine, I downloaded this cute app called Finch, where completing tasks in my morning/night routine can earn me gems to buy clothes for my bird and to make it grow. Thirdly, there's make it easy, aka the law of least effort. According to the law of least effort, people tend to gravitate towards a path of least resistance or effort. For example, because I want to journal more this year, instead of tucking in my journal with all my books, I put it right in front of me on my desk so it's easy to grab. Lastly, there's make it satisfying. Although making videos and bumping into editing issues is very annoying for me in the moment, once I finish everything up and see it right beside my previous videos, I feel a sense of accomplishment like no other. There are way more areas you can apply these 4 rules to, and the book itself goes more in depth on other factors towards behavior change, but these are the 4 that I'll be keeping in mind for the rest of the year. I'm a very emotionally driven person, and although it's not inherently bad to have emotions, it has led to a lot of procrastinating and canceled plans that would have made my life better. To change for the better this year, I'm creating a feel better routine for myself, as well as reflecting on my emotions more. I first engaged in some journaling prompts in my Artists of Life book. The 2 that stuck out to me was first, what promises will I make towards myself to protect my energy? And second, what habits do I want to break in 2024? I then listed a number of things that bring me joy and ways I can self-regulate rather than engage in a negative feedback loop. An example of the negative feedback loop is when I feel sad. Sometimes when I feel sad, I end up doom scrolling on Instagram or YouTube, and then I just end up doing nothing all day. This sort of behavior is sort of self-sabotaging and does not serve you on the long run. So rather than doing that when I'm sad, I now choose to journal about my emotions rather than doom scrolling, so that I feel better, and then I do some chores so that the rest of my day isn't in vain. It's important to practice self-compassion in these situations and fight back against your urge to self-sabotage. Another thing I want to keep in mind throughout 2024 is having an abundant mindset. I tend to wallow on the uncontrollable sometimes and can't see a way out. However, this takes away time to focus on what I can control and do in the moment. So going back to my cooking example, if my mom is using the kitchen, even if I wanted to use it, I can first clean my room while I wait, then use the kitchen. It'll probably be a while until I fully embody this mindset, but I'm taking it one day at a time. Ultimately, there's a difference between understanding versus learning about all that I said earlier regarding healthy habits and lifestyle changes. You might know about these tips and tricks, but you cannot truly understand it until you embody it. This was what it was like for me starting on YouTube. I might have known the processes of making a YouTube video, but I didn't understand all the nitty-gritty details to it until I started to make my own. Because of this, solely watching this video or writing in your journal will not help you change your reality. You have to put in the work to see these changes. Trust me, I've been keeping up my sleep routine for around 2 weeks now, and I feel so much more energized and productive throughout the day. If you watched till the end, thanks for doing so. Let me know in the comments below if you would like to see more self-improvement / talking based videos. See you next week!